Trump is currently chafing over some on the right, some of the most outspoken voices, including Tucker Carlson and Marjorie Greene, calling US involvement in Israel's war with Iran a betrayal. So Trump was asked about Tucker Carlson using that sort of terminology, and this is what Trump said. Well, and Tucker Carlson said that it's not America first to do this. So Trump said, well, considering that I'm the one that developed America first and considering that the term wasn't used until I came along, I think I'm the one that decides that. For those people who say they want peace, you can't have peace if Iran has a nuclear weapon. So for all those wonderful people who don't want to do anything about Iran having a nuclear weapon, that's not peace. Again, they would not be on the path to a nuclear weapon if he hadn't shredded the Iran nuclear deal and then failed to follow it up with some other deal. So if they do get it, it's actually his fault. But I love that. So first of all, what's America first? Whatever the hell he says it is, because he came up with it, which is not true. It had been used before in bad terms, but he gets to decide. And for those who want peace, shut up about the war. It's peace through war, okay? It's a little bit Orwellian, but that's what he's going with. We can have as many wars as we need if after the wars we have peace. So there's nothing more pro-peace than launching us into a bunch of wars. So that was for Tucker Carlson. Marjorie Greene was also critical of this. We covered that last Friday, I think. She posted another tweet, and I want to show you the full tweet because I have a point I want to make about it. Here's the tweet. We zoomed out so that it would fit on the page. You should be institutionalized if you tweet anything that long. Now, I know this is not me being nice to Marjorie Greene, and she did request that I do that, but don't ever tweet anything this long before. I have written short stories briefer than that, and they weren't very good, but they were briefer than that. That's crazy, Marge. And I say that knowing that I largely agree with many of the points she makes in the tweet. Stop tweeting that long. And Elon Musk should be locked up for allowing you to tweet things that long. Anyway, whatever, let's go to the substance of it. So she says everyone is finding out who are real America First MAGA and who are fake and just said it because it was popular. Unfortunately, the list of fakes are becoming quite long and expose themselves quickly. Anyone slobbering for the US to become fully involved in the Israel-Iran war is not America First / MAGA. And then she says some things that are reasonable. Wishing for murder of innocent people is disgusting. We are sick and tired of foreign wars, all of them. She even implies that the bombardment of Gaza is a bad thing. So she's standing up for civilians being killed. I wish she had done that this whole time, but okay, good. She doesn't want us involved in this conflict. She doesn't want people to needlessly die. She's saying that if you are pushing for US involvement, you're not MAGA. And that is like, not only I largely agree with it, not necessarily for the same reasons. I feel like she has some other reasons for opposing this, but whatever. She doesn't want the war, that's good. Here's the issue though. A lot of Donald Trump's like most prominent media defenders or whatever do want this. And Trump himself is moving us in the direction of direct involvement. And so she's saying you're not America First, you're not MAGA if you want us involved in this. But that soon will include not only JD Vance, but Donald Trump too. And so at that point, does Marge still stand against the war? I mean, right now, she doesn't have to worry about that. Trump hasn't yet gotten to that point. But Mark Levin, he said in response to what she just posted, that novel, she says, we're Team Trump, which is a very mature way to respond to that. It's deep and substantive and everything, but he's implying that no, Team Trump wants war with Iran. They want American soldiers invading Iran. And so I'm very curious how this is gonna go, if Tucker Carlson and Marjorie Greene will stick to their guns, but what do you think? Yes.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about this a little bit on the show on Friday, on the main show. Yeah, there's the war hawks and then the people like Tucker Carlson, who are actually saying, no, we don't want the war. That was our stance from the very beginning. And now here's Trump, this guy that we voted for and supported, who said that there was not gonna be a war and we wouldn't get involved. Now he's saying, maybe, I don't know, we'll see what happens because I actually have no control over what Benjamin Netanyahu does, despite what I try to convey to the American public. So the question is, do we actually have peace after wars, right? Is that usually what happens? Sometimes, but usually it's artificial peace, right? It's a little precarious. Wars rarely ever actually resolve the underlying issues that led to the conflict in the first place. It's a literal inflammation of whatever the issue is or was. And the irony here is that this is Israel that we're talking about. This is a state that was created as a result of a world war. And now this same state is going to, like, all those issues that led to the creation of Israel in the first place just created more issues on top of that. Ever since the state of Israel was created, we had the inflammation with what happened with the Palestinian people, and then also all the surrounding Arab nations around Israel, right? And I'm not trying to just be like Israel is like the root cause of all the issues in the Middle East, but I am saying that you can't just create a state in the Middle East, stick it there in the middle, and then expect everything else to just fall into place, because it doesn't address the underlying issues. And now we have this state that has never really known peace because of the way it was created, is now probably likely, if there is a catalyst for another large scale war on a global scale, really, it could be that very same catalyst. So it just kind of proves that, like, war is not ever going to be the answer, right? It's always going to have anything that has any kind of long lasting, meaningful resolution is going to have a diplomatic resolution. That's just what it's always been historically, right? War creates more issues than it often resolves. Even if those issues are not immediately obvious, even if there seems to be peace initially, those issues are always simmering under the surface. And if you look at different conflicts all around the world, right, even smaller ones that you don't really think about every day, a lot of them have been simmering for years, if not decades, because of something that happened forever ago. But those sentiments never got any better because they were never addressed. And then over time, you have one person attacking the other person retaliates. And so there's no end to that.
Yeah, that's sort of my fear. And we spent more than 2 decades in a pair of conflicts like this, and defense contractors made a lot of money off that. And what if we could have another one? What if we could have another 2 decades of payday? That's sort of my fear.
If you enjoyed that, make sure that you never miss another video by subscribing. And if you want a little more, consider hitting the join button and becoming an actual member. But you're probably wondering, why the hell would I do that, John? First off, calm down. The stakes in this are very, very low. But also, when you click the join button and you become a member, you get access to bonus content that I make every week, and it's a ton of fun. You get access to tons of custom emojis and more besides that. By the way, if you join at tier 3, you even get access to a monthly member hangout with myself and other awesome people, and we always have a great time. By the way, you'll get all that going forward, but you also unlock years of the back catalog. That is literally 100 or more bonus clips, top 10 lists, debates, and more. What are you waiting for? Click the join button below. Your support powers our show, and we couldn't do it without you. Or at the very least, I wouldn't really want to try. Viewers like you keep me here. So thank you in advance for joining.